Varo Bank, they say they'll give you 5% on your savings, but here's the truth. A lot of people watching this video may not get it. And there's a big catch buried in the fine print. And personally, as a risk manager and someone who's been researching the best financial tools and organizations out there, I'm bringing down the good, the bad, and the hidden details so you can decide if this account or bank overall is worth it for you or if your money belongs somewhere else. So let's get right into the best checking features of this organization. So now, to put this in perspective, these are the things personally that I would look into whenever I'm looking at a checking account. Now, we're going to go over the feature. Of course, we're going to go what Varo offers. And then what does it mean to you at the end of the day, right? Because it's important. Like we can go over a lot of facts, but like, hey, what does it mean to me at the end of the day? Like, what should I even care? Now, early paycheck, I think it's one of those things that, hey, like it doesn't need any further explanation, right? Like you get your check 2 days early, you can move on with your life, you can start paying your bills, you can enjoy your vacation without getting in debt. At the end of the day, it's more money to you sooner, and this could be a great feature. Of course, if you need your money earlier, who knows, an emergency maybe happens, or you just need to get by. Now, another good feature that I've identified with Varo Bank is the cashback with debit card. Now, personally, I thought it's actually a really cool, unique feature that I haven't seen that many other organizations offer. SoFi offers it, Chime, I believe, also offers it, but it's one of those things that is not widely done by most people just yet, right? Like it's only a few companies that offer it. So what this means is, of course, it's free money to you. Like I am a big believer in cashback, using cashback credit cards, of course, as long as you use them responsibly. But at the end of the day, it's free money, and you can get up to 6%. I think it's between 3% and 6% for a maximum of $200 per month. So that right there is free money for you. Of course, you gotta spend the money in order to get that back, right? Don't just go and spend the money because you're trying to get the money back. It's like, no, just use it in accordance with what you are already spending. Personally, that's the way I do it. I don't go out of my way to go and spend extra money just so that I could get extra points, right? Now, a really cool feature that Varo Bank offers, I want to say it's their credit builder. Now, it comes along with the Varo Believe card. This is a little different than their debit card, but essentially the way it works is they set up an account that is quote unquote a credit account, and they make you use your cash in order to fund it, such that when you use that quote unquote credit account, you use your cash to pay it off, quote unquote, and then they report that payment to the credit bureaus. And at the end of the day, everybody's happy. Like it's not real credit in a way because you are funding it. It's capped by how much money you have. But at the end of the day, I think it's a really good option and benefit for those who are looking to get their finances back on track, like get their credit back up. And they report many good results on their website. So I want to say that's a big benefit, and one of the best ones personally that I've identified that makes this account or this bank unique in a way, right? It gives it a different flavor because of this type of service. Now, of course, when it comes to ATM access in the network, like they have a partnership with All Point Network. They offer 40,000 participating ATMs. It's more convenient for you, easier to access your money. And when it comes to fees, of course, they do charge you up to it's 3.5, like $3.50 for non-All Point ATMs, and does not reimburse you any fees for third parties, right? So if you go to an ATM, what that means is you are going to get charged not just by the person who owns the ATM, but also Varo if you don't use an All Point ATM. So a withdrawal can easily be $5, $6 just for the convenience. Now, one workaround is using cashback, like you pay $1 or so, like for cashback nowadays. So that's another workaround if you only need like 50, $100, you know? So that's right there, some insight for you. All right. So with that being said, of course, now we're going to jump onto the savings. Like one of my favorite parts of any organization, like, okay, what's the interest that you offer? What's the security? Like, how can I maximize my income in a way? So the first detail that we're going to know about the savings, of course, is I've been using these high yield savings accounts, and 5% is one of those things that I've noticed that it's like pretty high up there. You know, it's like 5%, especially nowadays in August 2025. Not that many organizations are crazy enough to offer a 5%. But here's the catch. It's not 5% for everybody, all balances. the 5% actually caps at $5,000. For the first $5,000, you would earn 5% APY, and you also need to set up direct deposit. Your account has to be in the positive, number one, and also you have to make sure that you have at least $1,000 coming into your account. So, and that right there makes it a little bit, it kind of like opened my eyes a little bit, like it raised my eyebrows a little bit, but I understand, it makes sense. It's a very high APY. Now, if you have above $5,000, let's say that you got 10,000, then you would earn 5% for the first 5K, and you would earn 2.5% on the next 5,000. Now, 2.5%, quite honestly, it's not that competitive, especially in the world of online banks and neobanks. So that right there may be a drawback. In fact, a big drawback if you're somebody who has more than 5K, right? So at the end of the day, if you have less than 5K, it's an amazing deal, more money in your pocket. Okay. Now, currently, they don't have any bonuses for new clients. Doesn't mean that they won't in the future, but it may be a con or drawback depending on who you are. If you are looking for a sign-up bonus, which a lot of other competitors do offer nowadays. All right, so now we're going to talk about the monthly fees and minimum deposit requirements. Now, Varo does not have minimum deposits. It doesn't have minimum requirements in order to open an account. However, of course, in order to get the 5%, you do need the $1,000 direct deposit, right? So at the end of the day, if you meet the requirement, of course, that means more money in your pocket. All right. So when it comes to safety and security and peace of mind, Varo is, as a bank, FDIC insured. They offer up to $250,000 per account per owner. That's very standard with most banks out there. Almost all the commercial banks that I've seen actually are FDIC insured. But the FDIC mentioned that not all commercial banks are FDIC insured. So I just want to make you aware, whatever you're considering this or any other organization out there, just make sure that they are FDIC insured. They put it on the website. And if you want that extra layer of security, you can go to the register, the FDIC website, and see if you find your bank, right? Like, that's if you really like. But at that point, if you're not, if you don't trust what your bank or your potential bank is saying on their website, then at that point, like, what's the point, right? Like, maybe it's not for you, right? All right, so transfer window to external banks is very important right there. If you are somebody, hey, like you got a down payment for a house coming up, maybe you are funding your wedding and you need the money, or you need maybe you're buying a car soon, like you're making a large withdrawal and you need it like today or you need it tomorrow. So here, Varo Bank says on their website that an external transfer, maybe it is to a credit union, a non-borrow organization, it's between 1 to 4 business days, right? So you got to plan ahead a little bit. Most banks out there take about 1 to 3 business days, if not some less, like one day, 2 days to take that transfer. So just a little additional insight for you. And when it comes to access, of course, and making your deposit, you can fund your money through a bank transfer, direct deposit, ATM. You can also do Zelle, right? Like they also offer that, digital wallets in a way, where you can just enter somebody's phone number. I actually do like Zelle a lot. It's kind of weird. When I send money to my mom, it goes through in a couple of days. But then when I send money to my sister or any of my siblings, it goes in right away. It's kind of weird. But at the end of the day, the money does end up getting there. So another important thing that you need to know is the monthly withdrawal frequency. So Varo offers unlimited withdrawals. You can take out money from your savings account as many times as you wish. And they won't charge you any fees. They won't lock your account. They won't give you any quote unquote complaints. So that means, of course, more access to you and your money. So other products that you may be interested in, may seal the deal for you or may not, depending on what you are looking for, is, for example, loans, right? So it seems that Varo is very heavy, in my perception, on cash advance. A lot of people borrow money, right? That's how they make their money. It's kind of counterintuitive, right? Because they allow you to build your credit, but then they also loan you money. So if you don't pay back the line of credit or you do pay back the cash advance, which has outrageous interest rates, then they can help you also build your credit, right? So not only will they report you to collections, but they also help you like get out of it. It's kind of but anyways, that's an observation that I made that I was just thinking of. So if you're somebody that is looking for investing or maybe a more robust financial hub, they don't have that yet. They don't have investing yet. They don't have credit cards. They also don't offer life or disability insurance like other organizations. So it's still in development. I don't know if it's in their plans to get there. And also, they don't offer estate planning just yet. So overall, NerdWallet gives it a 4.8 out of 5. Bankrate gives it a 4.1 out of 5. So that right there gives you, at least it would give me a little bit of a peace of mind. It's like, oh, okay, like, like it has an overall good reputation. And of course, there's going to be satisfied and non-satisfied customers. Like every organization is like that. But at the end of the day, if most people are okay with it, if most people have had good experiences, then I would take my chances, after I do my own research, of course. So the branding originally established 2017, first fintech to get banking license. They call it a charter. So that right there gives you, of course, another layer of security and peace of mind. Okay, now with that being said, my friends, here's the pros and cons of putting everything in perspective, right? So on the pro side, we have, of course, it's got a great APY for the first $5,000. It's got good credit building features, right? I think it's important, like for people who are building their credit back up, or maybe you have no credit at all, like you want to build it. So like that's a great feature right there. Cashback with their debit card, I like that a lot personally. And of course, the peace of mind that comes with FDIC insurance. Now the cons, of course, we gotta have both, right? So with the cons, the APY caps at $5,000, and after that, it's not juicy enough for me, right? It's a 2.5%. It's still higher than what Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo would offer. They offer less than 1%. But if you compare it to the world, the ecosystem of high yield savings accounts, then it's not really the highest one out there. You do need direct deposit of at least $1,000 every month to get the 5% APY. It's not a con, in my opinion. It may not be for you. And also, it's fully online, right? Like, it's if you are okay with fully online organizations, then hey, that's all good. So keep in mind, there's no perfect organization. And by the way, if you already bank with Varo, I would love to know your experience. Please let me know in the comments. Let others know what you have experienced. Okay, so here's 3 quick frequently asked questions that you need to know, because this is going to help you make better decisions and also address expectations, right? So as a bank, if Varo fails, I put this here not to scare you, but it's a standard. Like I get this question a lot, like, hey, what happens if my money fails? I could put here SoFi. I've done videos here with CIT, and I'll answer the same question, so don't get scared, okay? So if a bank fails, any bank out there, it will usually be bought by another organization, and your account will just transfer. I got this straight from the FDIC website. If no one buys the bank, then the FDIC will step in and write you a check within a couple of business days. That's the overall process, right? Another question that you might be asking and that I have gotten is, do you have to pay taxes on your high yield savings? Yes, but don't worry. Like, you're still making money. It's very simple. Some people held back from making money just because they don't want to pay extra taxes. And at the end of the day, you're still making money, right? Like making more money. You just get them paying a little bit more in taxes. But at the end of the day, hey, your bank at the end of the year will make a form available to you. It's a 1099 INT, and you can either file it yourself. Literally, it takes like 5 minutes. There's an option there in whatever filing accounting system you use, or you can give it to your accountant if you wish. Now, here is something that is going to address and manage expectations, though, because homeboys right here, Powell on the left, and then Trump, they've been going at it over the last couple of months. Trump wants to lower interest rates. Powell says the economy is not great that yet, so I'm afraid to do it. I don't want to do it just yet. So there's been this feud between these two guys, right? Like two big egos. You can tell, like, Powell also has got an ego. You don't get that far without having an ego, right? But I believe, and also there's a lot of people out there who are mentioning, hey, the interests are going to go down probably in September, as there's higher pressure on the Federal Reserve to decrease interest. So one way that you can lock good interest rates for the next 6 months or maybe even a year, it's by taking into account CDs. Now, certificates of deposit are tools that allow you to lock a certain interest rate for a certain period of time. So I'm actually going to leave a link in the description if you are interested in learning more about CDs. But at the end of the day, it's also right now a good time to take advantage of these high yield savings accounts. Just know that the interest rates is variable and will go down when the Federal Reserve decreases their own interest rate. All right. So the question for $1 million, like, would I recommend Varo to my younger self? And I'm going to give you here, as a risk manager myself, a risk assessment, or like what I'm going to tell you what that means here in a second. So if I were looking for a high APY on balances under 5K, hey, good option. It also, if I had $1,000 a monthly direct deposit or plus, and also for credit building tools and simple online banking, I want to say, like, this is probably, like, if I were looking for credit building tools, right? Like, that's probably what would sway me the most. If I were just building my credit or rebuilding my credit, I would use this one. This one kind of like reminds me of Chime, quite honestly, but Chime, it's a fintech, right? But I don't want to get into that. But this is a full online banking organization. And yeah, so that's kind of like what would sway me going for Varo. Now, I wouldn't choose Varo if I were looking for a high APY on large balances. Let's say they got 10,000, 20,000, and hey, you work hard for your money, you're blessed, and now you got this much money and you're looking for how to maximize it, right? So Varo may not be the best option because they don't give you the best interest. Also, if you're looking for maybe physical branches or a wide range of products, right? They got checking, savings, and a few others, but like not that much of a variety. Also, if you want to set it and forget it savings with no requirements. So some organizations just allow you to just keep your money there. And like, for example, like CIT or Barclays, like Marcus, these are organizations that you can just open an account, set and forget your money, and then you don't need any direct deposit, you don't need minimum balance, and you can just let your money sit there and then just contribute on the monthly, weekly, or however often you set up your savings. So at the end of the day, what I want to say to you here is this. Varo is the great choice for balances less than $5,000 in savings with 1K direct deposit and mainly credit building tools. It's not the best option if you want a higher APY on larger balances or if you want anything other than a checking account. Overall, I want to give this organization a risk level of low. They have a solid track record since 2020. They are FDIC insured. They became a bank they went from fintech to bank. The main quote unquote risk I see is just the opportunity cost and missing out on higher interest if you have more than 5K in there, right? All right, so with that being said, I want to present to you 3 options in case you have larger balances and you want more features out of your bank overall. So SoFi, it's got higher APY. It's got a welcome bonus nowadays up to $300. Nowadays, you can take SoFi up to 4.5%, which is kind of outrageous, but it's only for a limited time. Also, CIT Bank has got a great APY. They got CD options. And also, Barclays has got a great APY, no minimums, easy to use. I'm actually going to leave these links in the description if you are interested in any of them. So that way you can start saving for your next vacation, for your next trip. Reminds me of a trip I took to Glacier National Park a couple of years ago at this point. Amazing place, highly recommended. And let me know if you're also a fan of national parks. All right, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for being here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check the links in the description if you are interested in any of the organization that I discussed in this video. See you guys on the next one. Take care. Peace.